Hello, dearies. This is Dr. Jimmy, and this will be my third video in my series on the history of Halloween Horror Nights 22. Maybe, if I ever get to it. First, of course, as usual, will be the t-shirt of the day. Today's t-shirt of the day is a very interesting t-shirt that is sort of related to Halloween Horror Nights 21. As you may recall, I told you in previous videos all about 21 before, that there was a house called Swords and Steam Into the Machine located in the Jaws Q area. Yes, the Jaws Q area, the final house ever to be in that location, right? Well, I did mention in one of the other videos that those of us who heard about it back in the summer of that year, when we first heard about this house was coming, we thought, oh, cute. And we started calling it Jaws and Steam, because, obvious joke, right? Well, one fellow, guy named Jeff Blackman, he decided that he would like to make a t-shirt based on that Jaws and Steam joke, you see. But let's talk a little bit more about Mr. Blackman. You might, if you're on the forums, like say Horror Night Nightmares or Orlando United, you might know him by another name, Legacy. Yes, and he has become a bit notorious recently. As you might recall, I used to post a lot of cryptic clues, and I've sworn not to do that sort of thing anymore. And I've been trying very hard to obey and be a good boy. But Jeff, he's decided he wants to do that now. In fact, he's probably been doing it for a while. Yes, under various aliases, probably. But you see, unlike myself, I wanted people to try to figure out a real clue, try to figure it out and hope that, and was proud of people when they did it. Jeff doesn't even like it if you figure out his clues. He'd rather you get it wrong. And he's actually openly admitted it. He's posted on the forums where everyone can read that since he doesn't go to the event anymore, and isn't going to go to the event anymore, hasn't gone since 2011, and then only one night during employee preview, and nobody I know even saw him there, but true, but so if he went that year, that's the last time he ever went, and he's never coming back. The only fun he gets out of HHN anymore at all is posting things like this in the forums to get a reaction out of people. Posting stuff to get a reaction on a forum. There's a word for that, isn't it? Something about billy goats going over a bridge. Yeah. So, and he's openly stated that he likes it better when it stirs up a lot of shit in the off-season and gets people all riled up about something that isn't even true. Like recently he posted, "Shall not be named," and people started thinking Harry Potter Voldemort, and it caused a lot of commotion, and he was happy with that. Now on another forum, Orlando United, he said, oh, that's not Harry Potter, but let's let those people at Horror Night Nightmares keep making that mistake. It's funny. He likes to get you messed up. See, that's what he likes. See? And when somebody actually spilled the beans on Horror Night Nightmares, he got mad. He said, quiet you! Don't tell them. See, that's the way he is. See? He's sad. In fact, some of the people who've criticized my actions in the past, possibly rightly so, which I don't do anymore, have turned their attention towards him because he's worse than I ever was, honestly. In fact, there's one fellow who's got a whole Tumblr blog dedicated to him called Legacy the Epic Tour. Not making it up. So there you go. But he made a nice t-shirt. Yes, he made a nice t-shirt. Oh, before we get to that though, just for fun, he's recently been posting a bunch of stuff, a bunch of clues for supposed houses supposedly this year, based on his supposed inside information. Of course, 3 of them we already know, right? We already know Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw, and Walking Dead now. So the other 6 ones, he's got these silly clues. Silly clues, he's the unannounced. And of course they're unannounced, otherwise we know what they are. But one of them is, you know, the expected. One of them is the return. Let's see, there's the requilling. What's the other bollocks? There's something else. There's the requilling and it's the expected, the return, the requilling, and the and something else. And then there's unknown and shall not be named. What was the other one that he called it? There's it's rather silly. Let's see. Expected. Return. Oh, claustrophic jewel. Claustrophic jewel. Not claustrophobic jewel, but claustrophic jewel. Okay, so, for fun, let's guess what he might mean. But of course, I'm not actually going to guess, because if I guess right, that would spoil things. And who knows, I might know anyway. But I'm not going to say that, because that would be wrong. And so I will guess silly, because it doesn't deserve anything but silly. Therefore, the expected. The Spanish Inquisition! Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yes. All right. The return. The return. Supposed to be in the parade building. The return. It would be cowbell 2. More cowbell. Yes, that's what it would be. What about... What about claustrophic jewel? Well, claustrophic jewel, that's a clue for Jeff can't spell. All right. What's the other one? Let's see. The other one was the requilling. Requilling is also not a word. Yes, that's what that's for. Yes. Or if we have to requil an old attraction and bring it back again, why not something from somewhere else, you know? Country Bear Jamboree, the return. Rootin', tootin', shootin'. Yes. Okay. What about the other two? Oh, the unknown. Well, if it's unknown, then how the hell do you know if I'm right if I guessed it? Because you don't know it either because it's unknown. There's a chance it could be anything, right? So that's a silly thing to even put out there for people to guess, because you wouldn't even know if they were right. Because he's openly admitted he's calling it the unknown because he doesn't know what it is. The last one, shall not be named. Well, that's obvious. That's... See, that's what it was, because it can't be named, right? At least it wasn't named the first year, but it was named the 4 years after that. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Okay, so he makes a nice t-shirt, nevertheless, now that I'm done mocking him. A nice t-shirt today is Jaws in Steam. Here it is, Jaws in Steam. It was kind of nice, isn't it? Got sort of military-looking font there, like on a Foot Locker type of stencil. Of course, he is a soldier. Jeff is an actual soldier in our actual armed forces. I suppose we should be nice to him because, you know, we have to support our troops. Oh well, and it's got the steampunk. That steampunk shot reminds me of something. It's almost identical artwork in style for the steampunk clown that I saw once recently. Where did I see that? I think it was meant as a cryptic clue that somebody posted about Giggles and Gore a couple of years ago. But Jeff says he wasn't that person. He swears up and down that he wasn't Casilda. Exact same art style, though. Draw your own conclusions. Anyway, but enough of that. Now that I've been evil, let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights 22. That's what the video's supposed to be, right? Alright, Halloween Horror Nights 22. In the previous 2 videos I got a little bit into the event, but I hadn't quite got to the houses yet. So we're going to start the houses with the first ever house at Halloween Horror Nights 22. Actually, there were 7 houses that year. The first one was in the film. We'll start with the sound stages. Yes, sound stages. They couldn't use sound stage 23, which they've used a lot before then, but it was occupied. I'm not sure by what. It might have had something to do with wrestling. Whatever it was, they couldn't do it that year. And sound stage 23, where they normally had 2 houses every year. So they had to find another soundstage. They found 22 was available, but they also found soundstage 20 was available. They could put 2 houses in 20, and that's what they did. They put 2 houses in 20, and both were original houses. How nice. It was the original houses that stood out that year. They were the better houses that year. That just goes to show you, you know, all this IP stuff, that was their bright idea. Well, not there, I mean up above, Comcast, whoever. Their bright idea. But yet the original houses were the better houses. Oh well. But one of them, the first one, was called Dead End. Dead End. Yes, it's the end that's dead. Yes. Dead End is a haunted house. Well, of course it's a haunted house. They're all haunted. But yeah, but it's a haunted house themed to an actual haunted house. You know, a big scary mansion full of spooks and spirits and spectres and things that, you know, like the Scooby gang goes in and they find out it's all actually an old man who's the old caretaker who's got a nefarious plan to get all the insurance money. But you meddling kids, tangent. Sorry about that. Get back to it. That sort of big creepy old mansion, yes, an actual haunted mansion, haunted house. They'd done one of those before, remember, back in 2010, the Wyandotte estate, a legendary truth. Well, let me tell you, Dead End was everything the Wyandotte estate should have been, but wasn't. It was lovely, brilliantly done. Creepy, scary old mansion, on a hill, dilapidated. The Wyandotte one looked like people might actually still be living in there. It was supposed to be a bed and breakfast or something. This one looked like nobody's been in there for 50 years. Creepy, scary, shuttered up old windows, bits and pieces falling off, overgrown trees and shrubberies and branches hanging over everything. Oh, just like something out of, you know, Charles Adams' illustrations. Creepy old haunted house. And that's why it was haunted. Because it looked like one. He's going, wrong? Yes, a really nifty backstory. It was located, of all places, in Carey, Ohio. Oddly enough, the same place that the Wyandotte estate was located. We've got a lot of haunted houses in Carey, Ohio. We've got a lot of creepy shit going on in Carey, Ohio all the time. Actually, unlike other creepy little towns like this and horror fiction, take Arkham in H.P. Lovecraft, or Derry, or Castle Rock from Stephen King's works, the town of Carey, Ohio, can actually be found on a map. There really is a Carey, Ohio. However, the real Carey, Ohio is quite boring compared to the one they have at HHN. It's a little tiny, dinky, almost nothing town. It has one really big church that's rather important because it's got a shrine to Our Lady or something or whatever. I forget which lady it was. It's the same Virgin Mary, but there's different titles for Our Lady of this and Our Lady of that, and I forget which lady of what she is in Carey, Ohio. But it's an important Immaculate Conception, maybe. That could be it. Whatever it is, it's an important little shrine for Catholicism. But if you're not a Catholic doing Catholic shrine tourism, then there's no reason to go there, really. There's no little meets. There's no little schoolhouse like the one in the, you know, you won't find Mary Agana there. You won't find Julian Brown. You won't find a palace, Universal Palace Theatre. You won't find that there. You won't find any of that lovely stuff that we all know is in Carey, Ohio, according to Horror Nights there. No Wyandotte estate, no Hartford mansion. Sorry. Yes, but that's where it was located in the storyline, because it's a running gag, you see. There's a member of Art and Design who's from Carey, and because of that they keep bringing Carey back for the event this way. Well, it just so happens that in 1890, at the time, a beautiful old Victorian mansion was built. Very beautiful. It was owned by Victor and Catherine Hartford. And the Hartfords lived there for many years, fairly mundane and ordinary people, as far as we know. They passed away sometime in the 1950s at a very old age. And after that, The place was stood abandoned for years and years, and more bits and pieces would fall off and it would become creepy, dilapidated and scary looking, and the trees would grow and get all branches and brambles and shrubberies and grickle grass. You steal something from Dr. Seuss. Growing everywhere, everything gets all out of shape and looks rather unkept, and it looks like a haunted house. So the little kids in Carey, Ohio say, "That place is haunted." And the grown-ups at Carey, Ohio would hear the kids and look at it and say, "Yeah, you're right, that place is haunted. There must be bad things happened there." And there were rumors, and may not even have anything happened there, but they began talking stories. Oh yeah, there was a suicide and a murder and debaucheries and God knows what, all sorts of hideous things happen there. Ooh, bad things. And because of that, story kept growing and growing. All of the terrible things that must have happened there. Horrible, bad place. And when people walking by would get a chill, just go, oh my God, that's scary. So, and the idea then is that there weren't any actual ghosts there haunting it, because no one ever really had any reason to haunt the place. But because of all of this fervent belief, all of this belief by all the people of Carey at what must have happened there, the terrible, awful things, all of that psychic energy brought into being manifested psychic thought forms. Entities that had never existed before came into existence and became horrible creatures, fulfilling the imaginations, the unconscious wish, perhaps, of the entire town that this place be haunted by something scary and horrible. Thus, the house actually became haunted and was full of horrible spooks and spectres and ghosts and sneaky things. Not the actual spirits of the dead, but projections of belief in it. That may sound like kind of a far-out, kind of spacey idea, but it's actually not all that far gone. There was an experiment done a few years ago, about 30, 40 years ago, maybe longer than that, 50 years ago. I think it was in the 60s or early 70s, and I don't remember for the life of me the name of the spirit. They made up a name off the top of their head, like Jerome, or Julius, or Joshua. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was a J name like that, but I don't remember the name. But they invented this character. They invented the ghost. They made him up, and they knew he wasn't real. But then they told the people in the experiment to concentrate and to try to believe he was real, to concentrate that there was a spirit by that name in this place. And they concentrated, and then through the thing, stuff started happening. People were contacted on the Ouija board by this person who never existed. Stuff started moving by itself in poltergeisty manner. You know, weird things started flying around, and you know, boxes hovering and stuff. You know, all that kind of crap started happening. Oh my God, this place is haunted! And they made the ghost up themselves. You see, they actually did that a few years ago. Furthermore, if you're into Eastern philosophy and religion, you know, I am a professor of religion myself, so I know a little bit about that sort of thing. There is a tradition in Buddhist traditions, especially Tibetan Buddhism, where there's ability that Buddhist monks can concentrate and meditate and actually bring an entity into existence through their own concentration that had never existed before. A thought form projection that comes to life in this way, out of their own unconscious minds, but collectively becoming a real thing. There's a word for it in Tibetan that is the actual word, but there's another word that's gotten into popular culture, topa. I don't remember the real one, but topa has become in popular culture, and it's a bit distorted and a bit of an oversimplification of the actual theology. Nevertheless, the idea that this topa could be a demon or a spirit that's useful or even bad or malignant or beneficial, either way, could be brought into existence through meditation of some sort. It is a part of this, and you have to understand, if you take Buddhism to logical conclusion, it makes sense, because if you think about it, in Buddhism, every entity that exists is a thought form that only exists because you think it does. because it's only your desire that causes you to even exist in the first place, because it's all an illusion, you see. And when you realize that it's all an illusion, you lose the desire and you stop existing. You reach in total enlightenment, and then you're one with everything, see. And therefore, you have no separate existence. You're at one with all things, and you're in total bliss of nirvana. And that's also an oversimplification. That's basically the idea. Therefore, all of us can be thought of as thought projections, or at least something that only exists because of some sort of will or belief in it. And once that's gone, goodbye, or desire in that case, anyway. And it's so you can think about it that way, because it's all an illusion, but it's a damn good one. That's why it's hard to get out of that, you see. And you won't stop reincarnating over and over again once you hit that enlightenment, you see. It's sort of like taking cogito ergo sum, that is, I think, therefore I am, a bit more literally. I am because I think. I think that I am, therefore I am. I wasn't until I started thinking I was, then I was, see, or something like that. Now that's getting really spacey. Whoa! And I've already run out of time and haven't even started on the silly house. Oh dear. Wait for part 4, which will come up in just a moment, hopefully.